Hello, sunshines. Welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. I'm your host, Heather, known as BunniPhish on Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. And today I am here with you for a special episode. We are going to talk about my crafty goals, specifically how I've put them into a crafty bingo board. So let's first look at my bingo board from last year and discuss things that worked and didn't work. So I had 16 goals and I did pretty well. I finished half, and then one square I wasn't able to finish because of a big breakup. So I made good progress on my bingo board, and most of the things that are on the bingo board, I would say out of the 7 things that I didn't finish, I worked on half of those. Yeah, I think I worked on 4 of them. So that's pretty good. Going forward to this year, though, I changed it up a little bit. Some things that worked were putting on things that I knew I was going to make anyway, like kids' socks. I know I'm going to make my kids' socks because I make them socks every year. And then I have some other projects that I just know I'm going to make because I'm making them with other people or for other people, or they have a deadline. So those are easy wins. I also put some small projects on here, so that should make it really easy. So I'm going to go ahead and go through square by square and give you a quick rundown of what that goal looks like. So we're going to start top, go left to right, and then work our way down. Kids socks, 5 pairs. I make socks for my kiddos and my sister's kiddos every year. For Christmas, I've been doing it for a very, very long time. I skipped 1 year because they had not been appreciative of the socks the year before, and they were like so sad. I don't get them any presents, but they look forward to getting their Christmas socks. The next square says Sky Shard for Haley. I made a couple Sky Shard cowls in 2022 for some friends, and I had so much fun making the cowl that I want to make another one for another friend. So I think that will likely be the DK weight version, because my friend Haley lives in Wisconsin where it gets cold. And I think I'm going to hold fingering weight double for that. And I have so many thoughts swirling around my head, but I'm not going to start it now. I'm really excited for that project, and it should be pretty quick. The last time I made a Sky Shard cowl that was DK weight, it was like a 24-hour project. I'm not saying that that's what it'll be again, but it could be. Finish Advent wall hanging. So this is something that I started probably a decade ago, and it has all of the pockets for Advent things on it. All I have to do is finish embroidering snowflakes on it, which is effectively tacking the top and the bottom of the quilt pieces together, and then put a binding on. This won't take me that long if I just do it. That's the thing. The thing is, I'm not doing it, so it's not getting finished. So I have hung it up on my window so I will see it every single day. And hopefully that will inspire me to just do a couple snowflakes every once in a while. I don't need to do everything all the time, right? Like I can do just a few snowflakes here and there. And if I do, you know, a handful of snowflakes every week, by the end of the year, it will be all snowflaked up, and then I'll just have to do the binding. So there's that. Exploration Station. I am doing this with some friends. They are hosting a knit along, so it will get done. My goal is to do an hour a week on the Exploration Station. So if it takes 52 weeks, it takes 52 weeks, but I can't imagine it will. I imagine at some point I'll be like, okay, I just want this to be a finished object, and I'll power through it. Next row, finish commission baby blanket. I am making this for somebody. They are paying me to make it, so it will get finished. At the time of recording this, I am about a third, just under a third of the way finished with the main body, and then there's a border. So I'm hoping to have it finished by spring, maybe sooner. As long as I keep working on it, I'll have it finished by early spring. Next is gloves for Steve. That is my kid's dad, and he mentioned that when I went down there on Christmas Eve with my kids, I had my knitted gloves, and he was like, "Oh, those are really nice. I need more gloves." Or he was like, "I need to get some gloves. I'll probably just have to buy some." And I was like, "I made you gloves once." And he was like, "Yeah, but they're falling apart now." I made him gloves probably a decade ago. So the fact that he still has them and now they're falling apart, like, I guess I'll knit him some gloves for Christmas this year. And if I remember correctly, the only difference I would have to make for a pair of gloves that fit me just fine is that the fingers are maybe like 2 rounds longer on gloves that would fit him. Next, reknit Bloomsbury sweater. I knit this sweater very quickly one summer, but I do this thing when I'm knitting sweaters where I knit the top too long, and so the arm side is like way too big and it sits funny and I don't like it. And also I've lost weight since I knit the sweater, so it was just very, very oversized, and that is not a style of sweater that I like. I prefer my sweaters to be fitted, 0 ease or negative ease, and that is not the way that Bloomsbury fit. So I'm going to reknit it. I want to put together 60 barn raising squares. That's total. So that means the ones that I've already put together, it's maybe 10. Those count towards this goal of 60. I need to just put together the squares because I really want the blanket. I've already made all of the squares. I just have to put them together. So I just need to get to work on that. So I don't know how to motivate myself to work on that one. I'm trying to figure it out, because I really want the finished blanket. I just haven't gotten there yet. Next row, finish the green garter blanket. I just checked right before starting recording this. I have used half of the colors of green yarn that I wanted to from my Advent calendar that I put together. So that means it's half done. As long as I keep working on it, this will be easy. So it's my current movie knitting, and I easily knit 6 to 8 garter ridges at a movie without even trying. So that should be an easy one to do as long as I keep going to movies, which of course I will, because I love going to the movies. I'll go to the movies to see almost anything except horror movies. So I just like being in the theater because my brain is able to shut off and focus. 361 minis used. I did this specifically because 361 is a perfect square of 19. So I could make a really cute little grid in my crafting journal. So the original goal was 365, but now it's 361, which is fine. And those don't have to be specifically mini skeins. It could be a full skein of yarn from my stash that gets completely used up, no leftover bits. It could be mini skeins, like buying a mini skein and using it all up. It could be leftover bits that are in my stash already, leftover bits that someone else gives me. All of that counts. Then I want to make a sockhead hat for my friend Kevin, but it won't be a full sockhead hat. I don't want to do the entire, foot of knitting that it calls for in the pattern. It's probably going to be like 8 inches, maybe 9 from cast on to the top of the decrease. But I want to make that for my friend Kevin, so that'll be boring but good. It'll be really good work knitting, because what I need for work knitting is easy stuff that I can pick up and put down and not think about. I want to make 6 pairs of adult socks. So going back to that first square, the kid socks, P.S., those kids are not kids. Like, they're not like little tiny humans with little tiny feet. Only one of them has small feet. My daughter wears size 4. Everybody else wears grown-up size shoes. My niece wears size 6, but the other 3 have like size 9, 10 feet, and they're still growing. So yeah. Even though it says kid socks, they're really adult size socks. But I want to make 6 pairs of adult socks for the gifting season. The next row says fixed dovetail sweater. Same problem as I had with the Bloomsbury. I made that yoke way too deep, and I don't like how it sits on me. So I'm hoping to be able to like do some surgery so I don't have to do a ton of reknitting on it, but I don't know. I have to think about how that would work out to like raise up the stuff. I'll probably have to cut it right below the color work and then rip back the color work and then Kitchener it back together after I reknit the color work yoke for a few of those colors. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't hate that there's positive ease in the body of the sweater, but I hate where the armhole depth, the arm side, the yoke is just wrong. I need to fix it. It's a black rainbow rug. So it is 2 strands of black and 1 strand. Is that true? 1 strand of color. I don't know. I'm holding black yarn and colored yarn together to make a rug. I was originally going to give it to my sister, but I'm going to keep it for me. Theoretically, it should be a fairly quick project. Like, the hook for it is ginormous. I'm holding so many strands together. It should be quick. I just need to do it. And I'm kind of tired of the yarn for it taking up an entire cubby on one of my shelves. So I just need to make the rug and just have it be a useful thing instead of a UFO. I want to end the year with less than 97 skeins of hand-dyed / sock yarn. Some of my hand-dyeds are not sock weight, but most of them are. And then I have sock weight yarn that's not hand-dyed. So all of that, I have 97 skeins starting the year. I want to have less than that. I don't want to be adding skeins to my stash just to add skeins to my stash. Like, I want to be using skeins as I get them and purchasing with intent. I don't want to buy things just because they're pretty. There will be other pretty things. And the last one is finish the corner to corner blanket. I'm on the decreases. I want to have it finished so that it's just out of my brain space. Like, I'm giving it to my nephew instead of to my ex. But I started it for my ex, but it's like a perfectly good blanket and my nephew liked it. So I want to finish it, and kind of the sooner the better, because I kind of don't want to look at it and I want it to go live in storage until I can give it to my nephew in 2024 for a graduation present. So yeah, I think I should be able to black out this bingo board this year. I tried to make it doable to be able to do that. So we will see. Those are my goals. So are you doing a make 9? Are you doing a bingo board? Are you just writing yourself a list of things that you kind of want to do? I have a weekly, no, not a weekly. I have monthly goals right now, I think is how I'm going to do it. That I then break into weekly goals. So that in conjunction with the bingo board, I think is going to work really well as long as I'm keeping the bingo board in mind while I'm making those goals. But tell me about your plans. I would love to hear about them, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.